Good morning, good evening, whatever time of day it is for you. Welcome to this thing that I do called Thor's Entertainment. I am Thor, and today I am doing another Fatal Friday video. Fatal Friday being the series I do where I go into the Kombat League for Mortal Kombat 1 and I try to get the unique finishers of the main roster and cameo fighters. This time around, I'm going after Peacemaker's Brutality Human Torpedo, which is the Brutality version of his, well, Human Torpedo. So expect Peacemaker to go ahead and put that force field on and then propel himself headfirst into his opponents many times.
Do you have any powers?
Just an extremely high tolerance for pain. Jesus! What the hell?
Take one. Action!
And alright, this person that I am going against is a level 4 and they have 0 wins and 0 losses, which makes me think I am probably their very first fight ever in the Kombat League. So this might not be that competitive of a fight. I could be wrong. This person with no experience might kick my ass, but I have played the game a good amount, and going against somebody that maybe has never even fought in the Kombat League before, I don't know. I just kind of have a feeling that this might be a little bit one-sided. We will see though, I'd like to be pleasantly surprised. But yeah, my opponent is using the main roster character Liu Kang and the cameo Goro. Liu Kang is one of those characters that I have just not messed around with whatsoever, so I can't really comment on him too much. Like, the only time I've ever used him was with his chapter in the story mode for Mortal Kombat 1, or at least that is the case as of the time that I am voicing this over. Now, by the time this video actually gets posted on anything, maybe by then I'll have actually picked up the character. For the time being, though, I have not. But I do know that people who use Liu Kang against me in the Kombat League, well, they generally like to get as far away as possible and just throw fireballs of various varieties at me. And in that regard, Peacemaker might be very well equipped. In fact, the very first thing I did going into this fight was try to use his force field, but I did the button inputs a little bit wrong and it just did not happen. But with Peacemaker being able to do that force field, he is able to absorb pretty much any projectile that's thrown at him, to include the fireballs from Liu Kang. So on top of this being a fight against somebody who is potentially brand new to the game, I was feeling pretty good about this the matchup overall, because on paper, Peacemaker is a pretty good matchup against Liu Kang. So overall, I was feeling pretty confident about this one. So you may be seeing me over there doing the meter burn version of Peacemaker's pistol attack. The idea was I wanted to stun him and then go for the human torpedo and then activate the brutality. Now, I was still pretty new to Peacemaker at the time, so I wasn't 100% sure what the damages were on various attacks, so I did not want to end up killing Liu Kang on accident before I could go for the brutality. And I did have my opportunity. I did get him stunned with one of the bullets, and I did the human torpedo. But then Liu Kang just barely survived. And because of all the screwing around that I did trying to get the brutality, this person new to the game actually ends up taking the round against me, so good for them.
Torpedo!
Brutality.
Let's see Batman do that.
Peacemaker wins.
Alright, that third and final round went a bit more like I was expecting. Liu Kang not really doing too much damage against me, and me winning the round pretty decisively and ending it with the brutality. And it is at this point my opponent elects not to continue with the fight, and they exit the set early. Which, yeah, I don't blame them. Hopefully their experience with the game got a little bit better after that. But of course, if I ended it here, this video would be short as hell, so this is not how things are going to end. I wouldn't just make a video about me getting a brutality on somebody that probably just picked up the game that day. No, we got the brutality once. Let's go ahead and look for another fight, the very next fight, and try to get the brutality one more time against someone who possibly is a bit more used to the game and prepared for the crap that I'm going to be throwing at them. So yeah, this video is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to be doing more than one fight in it. In fact, I intend to do that with a few different videos for Peacemaker now that I'm thinking about it. Alright, and my next opponent is, well, still kind of low level, but at least they have fought 10 fights up to this point, so I'm not going to be their first one, so maybe they are a little bit more prepared. I guess now is as good a time to point out as any that the Kombat League fights are completely random. I don't really get to choose my opponent. I suppose I could skip a person and then go to a different opponent, like just reject it, but I don't think I've ever done that before. I always just kind of fight whoever it is. Granted, I probably should actually try to reject some of these because some of the connections are god-awful. Fortunately, that's not the case here today. And this second opponent that I got randomly paired up against is using Li Mei and Tremor, which is a combination I don't think I have seen anyone using before. Which I guess isn't really too surprising. I don't really see anyone using Tremor anymore. Like a few Reiko players do, but that's about the only ones that come to mind. Outside of that, it's kind of just a random occurrence. This is going to be a little bit off topic for the Kombat League, but since I am fighting against someone using Li Mei, it's not entirely too off topic. At the moment, I am playing through the story mode for Mortal Kombat 1, at least as of the time I'm voicing this over. By the time this video releases, I will have been done with that playthrough for a pretty long time. But yeah, as of right now, I am playing through Mortal Kombat 1 story mode, and the chapter I left off on is Li Mei's chapter, so I have that to look forward to. Now, outside of the very first time I ever played through that story mode, and on one occasion whenever I was trying to figure out what was punishable for Li Mei and what wasn't, I really haven't ever played that character. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of preparation with Li Mei before I go into that chapter so it doesn't look horrible. But I will say this person I am fighting against is trying to set up her lanterns for, well, combo extensions and stuff like that, and to also kind of control my ability to jump. That's kind of cool. Whenever I do fight against Li Mei people, there are occasions whenever the person using her just ignores those lanterns, and it seems like they have a lot of utility. It's kind of cool to see someone actually trying to use them. Granted, it hasn't worked out for them too much so far, but it's still nice to see. And damn it, I had it. So I stunned Li Mei with the meter burn version of Peacemaker's gunshots, and she was stunned, which she doesn't stay stunned, she'll start to fall over. And you saw me pressing the buttons, but I did not do the inputs right, so Peacemaker did not do his human torpedo attack.
Vigilantes only breed lawlessness.
You cops would be lost without us. Jesus! What the hell?
Take one. Action.
So yeah, that really should have ended with a brutality, and it did not. That's a bit of a bummer, but that's okay. We still have at least one more match to go against this Li Mei user, so I'll have at least one more opportunity to go for that brutality. Which I am going to stay on the topic of that brutality, because now I'm remembering something that was a little bit, well, I'm going to be honest with you, it's a little bit nitpicky, but it still annoyed me. This might be the most lazily named brutality of all time. So the special attack that this brutality is based on is just Peacemaker's human torpedo attack. Now, whenever you do a brutality, the brutality version has a different name. Like, for instance, Scorpion's spear attack, it has a brutality as well. But rather than just being called spear or something like that, the brutality version has the unique name Stop Ahead, which is a play on words because, yes, you're stopping the opponent, but the attack also takes off their head, so stop ahead. And normally that's what they do. They just do kind of clever wordplay with whatever the brutality is versus what the special attack is named. They don't really change the name for Peacemaker's human torpedo brutality. The special attack is called Human Torpedo with an exclamation point. And then the brutality version of it is Human Torpedo. There's no punctuation at the end, it's just Human Torpedo. So like I said, it's kind of really lazy naming. And on top of that, they got the order wrong. The regular, normal special attack for Human Torpedo has the exclamation point on it. And you can do that all the time. Now, personally, I feel like it should be the brutality version of it that has the exclamation point, because you're literally making someone explode with that version of it. Like, that is the exclamation point. You are ending the fight with exclamation.
Torpedo!
Brutality.
Let's see Batman do that.
Peacemaker wins.
You see, right there. Tell me that did not deserve an exclamation point at the end of it. Anyway, that was the Human Torpedo brutality for Peacemaker. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't worry, you're going to get to see it one more time at the very end of this outro. So in the end, we ended up doing multiple fights and getting the brutality multiple times. All in all, a pretty good experience, and yeah, I'm happy with this one. And with that brutality being accomplished twice in this video, I guess there's really not too much more to say. Just thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I do have other finisher-related videos on the Thor's Entertainment channel. All of those can be found under the Mortal Kombat 1 online playlist. And if any of the story mode stuff for Mortal Kombat interests you, I do have playthroughs of the story modes for various games for that as well. But yeah, that is going to be it. Take care, and I will see you next time.
Torpedo!
Brutality.
Let's see Batman do that.
Peacemaker wins.